Did you know there are 5 types of purchases that keep people poor? I'm not talking about bad investments or complex financial decisions. I'm talking about everyday purchases that seem harmless, but work like drains, sucking your money month after month, year after year, preventing you from finally making the financial leap you so desperately need. And the worst part, these purchases are exactly the ones that the industry and marketing wants you to make. They're designed to seem small, insignificant, even necessary. But when you add it all up at the end of the year, you discover you've spent the equivalent of several months' rent on things that added absolutely nothing to your life. What you're about to discover goes against everything advertising, sells you as happiness and fulfillment, but it's based on real data about the financial behavior of people who manage to escape. Poverty versus those who remain stuck in the same place for decades. It's not about judgment, it's about mathematical patterns that repeat themselves. If you really want to understand why you work so hard, but money never sticks around, why the month always ends in the red, why it seems impossible to build an emergency fund, pay attention. Because the problem might not be your income. It might be exactly in these 5 categories of purchases you don't even realize you're making. First, clothes and accessories you don't wear. Let's start with the most treacherous purchase of all, the one that seems innocent, that even seems necessary. I'm talking about clothes, shoes, bags, accessories. More specifically, I'm talking about the closet full of pieces you barely wear, while you keep buying more. Have you ever stopped to do the math? Most people use at most 20% of the clothes they own. The rest is hanging there, taking up space, collecting dust, some pieces still with tags on. But every month there's that irresistible sale, that impulse to buy something new because it's on discount, because you'll wear it for some special occasion that never comes. Here's the cruel math. A person who spends an average of $200 a month on clothes they don't really need is throwing away $2,400 a year. In 5 years, that's $12,000 that could have become an emergency fund, a professional course, a down payment to start a small business. And I'm not saying don't buy clothes. I'm talking about buying clothes you already have similar ones in the closet. Buying on impulse, buying because it was on sale, but you didn't even need it. How many pairs of jeans do you really need? How many pairs of sneakers do you actually wear? How many blouses are forgotten while you always wear the same 3? The problem isn't the clothes themselves. The problem is the pattern. Buying to compensate for something emotional. Buying to feel included. Buying because everyone is buying. Meanwhile, people who manage to build wealth had a simple rule. I only buy new clothes when the old ones are truly worn out or when my professional situation requires a specific appearance. Second, installment payments for electronics that depreciate. Now let's talk about the second trap that keeps people stuck in poverty. The endless installment payments for electronics that depreciate before you even finish paying for them. Ever bigger TVs, always the latest model phones, video games, powerful computers you use to watch Netflix. Here's the destructive pattern. You finance a phone in 12 installments. By the 6th month, they've already launched a new model and yours is already worth half the price. But you keep paying the installments at the original value while you're already thinking about the next one. It's an endless wheel where you're always owing for products that have already Let me show you the real numbers. A top-of-the-line phone costs $3,000. You split it into 12 payments of $250. Seems smooth, right? But then you add it up, phone in installments, TV in installments, laptop in installments, game console in installments. Suddenly you're paying $800, $1,000 a month just on electronics installments. And here's the part nobody tells you. If you had bought simpler versions in cash, with the money you actually had, you'd spend half of that and have products that do exactly the same function. Do you really need the $3,000 phone, or does the $1,500 one do everything you need? Do you really need the 65-inch TV, or does the 43-inch one watch the same Netflix? People who escape poverty had a rule: electronics only in cash and only when the current ones stop working. No switching because a new model launched. No financing in 12 installments to make it seem affordable. Because while you pay installments, they invested the difference. And in 5, 10 years, the difference was abysmal. Third, delivery and eating out. The third purchase that drains money silently and devastatingly is eating out. Delivery every day, lunch at the restaurant, afternoon snack, coffee at the bakery, that meal because you were too lazy to cook. It seems like little. It seems harmless. But the bill at the end of the month is brutal. Let's do the math together. Lunch out costs an average of $25. If you eat out every business day, that's $500 a month just on lunch. Add the $5 coffee every day, another $100 a month. Delivery twice a week, $60 each, another $480 a month. Adding it all up, over $1,000 a month on eating out. Now compare making food at home for the whole month costs an average of $400, $500 for one person. The difference, $600 to $700 a month that simply evaporate because you're paying for convenience. For the fact that someone cooks for you for delivery at your door. And I'm not saying never eat out. I'm saying that eating out every day when you're trying to escape poverty is a financial shot in the foot. It's literally burning money. $700 a month is $8,400 a year. In 3 years, that's $25,000 that went away on meals you don't even remember anymore. People who built wealth starting from the bottom had different habits. They cooked on Sundays, froze meals for the week, brought food from home, not because they were cheap, but because they understood a simple truth. Every dollar not wasted is a dollar that can be invested in the future. Is delivery tasty? Yes. Is it convenient? Very. But when you're trying to change your life financially, convenience is too expensive a luxury. And the worst part, it's a luxury that leaves nothing, that builds nothing, that simply disappears. Fourth, old car that becomes a bottomless pit. Now let's talk about one of the most destructive financial decisions people with little money make. Buying an old, cheap car, thinking they're saving money, and then they discover that car transforms into a bottomless pit that sucks money every month on maintenance. Repairs, replaced parts. Here's the pattern. You buy a 15, 20-year-old car for $10,000, $12,000. Seems like a deal. But then it starts. First month, clutch, $1,200. Second month, suspension, $800. Third month, electrical problem, $600. And so it goes month after month, endless bleeding. At the end of a year, you've already spent $5,000, $6,000 on maintenance. In 2 years, you've already spent more fixing the car than the car was worth when you bought it. And the worst part, the car is still old, still has problems, because there's no end. It's always a new part that needs replacing. Always a new noise that appears. Now add everything up. Car payment if you financed it, registration, mandatory insurance, fuel, constant maintenance. You're easily spending $1,000, $1,200 a month on a car that lives more in the shop than in your garage. And for what? To go to work that's 6 miles from home. People who got rich starting from the bottom did it differently. Either they didn't have a car and used public transportation, saving all that money, or they saved money for longer and bought a newer, more reliable car that doesn't keep breaking down. The logic is simple. Cheap that becomes expensive isn't cheap. It's disguised loss. And I'll be even more direct. If you're trying to escape poverty, chances are you don't need a car. You need transportation, yes, but transportation can be bus, subway, bicycle, carpool, Uber, in emergencies. All of that together still comes out cheaper than maintaining an old car breaking down every month. Fifth, subscriptions and services you don't use. And we arrive at the fifth financial trap, the one that's the most silent of all, because you don't even notice the money leaving. I'm talking about recurring subscriptions and services that automatically debit every month. Streaming you barely watch. Gym you don't go to premium apps you don't even remember you subscribe to. Let me show you how this works. Netflix, $40 a month. Spotify, $20. Amazon Prime, $15. HBO Max, $30. Disney Plus, $40. That Jimmy went to 3 times a year but keep paying for, $80. Meditation app you use for a week, $30. Adding it up, $255 every month. It seems like little when you look individually. Oh, but it's only $40? The problem is you have 5, 6, sometimes 10 subscriptions running at the same time. At the end of the year, that's $3,000 that left your account automatically without you even noticing for services you use half an hour a month. And here's the question you need to ask yourself. Do you really need for streaming platforms? Do you really use that gym, or are you paying out of guilt? Does that premium app make any real difference in your life, or did you forget you were paying for it? The pattern that keeps people in poverty is simple. They subscribe to everything that appears in front of them. because it seems cheap at the moment. It's only $20 a month. It won't make a difference. But it does, because it's 20 here, 30 there, 40 over there, and at the end of the month, you don't know where the money went, but it went there. People who built wealth had a brutal rule: no recurring subscriptions unless absolutely essential. Want to watch series? Choose one platform, not three. Want to exercise? Do it at home, in the park, on the street. Want to listen to music? There's a free version. The premium version is comfort, not necessity. The truth, nobody wants to hear. Now let's talk about the hard truth. These 5 categories of purchases: unnecessary clothes, finance electronics, delivery every day, old car that breaks down, subscriptions you don't use, have something in common. They don't make you happier, don't build wealth, don't improve your life in any real way. They just create the illusion of comfort while draining your money. Let's add up everything I talked about. $200 a month on unnecessary clothes, $500 on electronics installments, $700 on delivery and eating out, $700 maintaining an old car, $250 on useless subscriptions. Total, $2,350 a month that simply evaporate. $2,350 a month, $28,200 a year. In 5 years, that's $141,000. You could have saved $141,000, but instead you have a closet full of clothes you don't wear, old phones in the drawer, delivery memories, a car that keeps breaking down, and subscriptions you forgot you have. And here's the hardest part to accept. The industry wants you to keep buying these things. Marketing is designed to make you feel you need the new model, that you deserve delivery because you've worked hard, that those clothes will change your life. But they won't. It's all illusion. People who truly escaped poverty, who built wealth starting from the bottom, made different choices. Not because they were smarter, but because they understood a basic principle. Every dollar spent on useless things is money you don't have to build your future. They didn't have huge closets. They had the essentials well maintained. They didn't have the most expensive phone. They had one that worked well. They didn't eat out every day. They cooked and brought lunch. They didn't have an old car breaking down. They used public transportation or saved to buy something reliable. They didn't have 10 subscriptions. They had 1 or none. And what happens? At first, they seem to be depriving themselves. They seem to be living worse than others. But 5, 10 years later, while others remain stuck in the same place, complaining that money isn't enough for anything, they had built reserves, had invested in education, had started businesses, had changed their lives. The difference wasn't in income. Often they earned the same or even less. The difference was in the discipline of not wasting money on things that add absolutely nothing, in the ability to resist impulse, to say no to marketing, to prioritize the future instead of immediate pleasure. This doesn't mean living miserably. It means living consciously. It means understanding that every purchase is a choice between now and later, between appearing to have money and actually having money, between impressing others and building your own security. And here's the final truth. You can keep making these 5 categories of purchases. You can keep filling the closet, financing electronics, ordering delivery, maintaining an old car, accumulating subscriptions. Nobody will stop you. But in 5, 10 years, you'll be in the same place, wondering why money never sticks around. Or you can do it differently. You can look at these 5 areas and cut what's unnecessary. You can redirect that money to build an emergency fund, to take a course that increases your income, to invest in something that really changes your situation. The choice is yours, but the results are mathematical. Math doesn't lie. If you spend $2,300 a month on useless things, you won't escape poverty. Simple as that. It doesn't matter how much you earn, because the problem isn't the input, it's the output. People who get rich aren't those who earn more. They're those who waste less. Leave in the comments, which of these 5 categories drains the most money from your life? Where do you notice you're throwing money away every month? If this video made you see patterns you didn't see before, subscribe to the channel for more content about financial decisions that really make a difference. And leave your like so more people have access to information that goes against what marketing sells, but that can truly change lives. Because the difference between staying poor and building wealth is in the small daily decisions. And now you know what they are.